Congressman Nadler, he just spoke at a press conference not too long ago, and he said that he believes this is religious discrimination. And I should mention, you're a practicing Muslim. You spoke on behalf of the U.S. government at one point. How are you feeling about what's going on today when you look at these pictures of the protests? And I don't know if you were able to hear the protests, but I mean, these people, their voices, the attorney, his voice was quivering. I mean, people are so upset.
Well, I'm a natural-born U.S. citizen from a suburb of New York City, and have always been proud about my American heritage and, frankly, the gift that living in America has given me and my family. And that was what drove me to public service and the appreciation for diversity and freedom of religion and freedom of press. So it's concerning to see, after having worked in our government to represent two places like the Middle East and South Asia, what the beauty of America is, to hear things coming from the White House about torture, about banning people based on religion. It's not the America that I think many of us have come to appreciate, and frankly, many of our men and women in the armed services have fought to defend. So I stand with my friends in the military who are also saying that this is not, we fight for our freedoms, and it's freedom for all, and that these are the values that make us American and that make us proud to be a beacon of hope for the rest of the world.
Nayyera, with that said, we realize that so many people, and frankly, maybe people watching right now, do share concerns about vetting and people coming into this country. So can you talk about that? I mean, obviously there are fears, there are problems with homegrown terrorism and what have you. Is there perhaps a more effective way to keep this country secure, or is it too difficult to do on a case-by-case basis? What are your thoughts?
And that is the irony of this, is that we are all standing strong against terrorism, finding a way to prevent radicalization in the United States and for radical elements to come here. But this executive order actually doesn't target the specific countries where we're seeing those challenges. For example, in Iraq, the front line with our military support, the front line of this war are Muslims. And you have in Syria people who are fleeing a brutal dictatorship and regime, and they're fleeing for their lives. So these are not necessarily terrorists that we're talking about. And in fact, the country where 9/11 hijackers was 11 out of 13 of the hijackers were Saudi citizens. But Saudi Arabia is not on the list for banning. Places in South Asia, not on the list for the ban. Why? We can only wonder that there are political and business interests that this administration has in those areas. So it's targeting countries that, frankly, will cater to the fear of Americans and not necessarily answer any of our foreign policy and counterterrorism challenges.
Nayyera Haq, thank you for your time and your perspective today.
Good to be here.